Until the next time.
Urchinomics is about turning an environmental challenge into an economic, ecologic, and social opportunity. Sea urchins are quite amazing seafood products because they're essentially a flavor bomb. Due to an unfortunate combination of overfishing of predatory species, climate change, and pollution, we humans have created the perfect conditions for sea urchins to multiply and reproduce unhindered and overgraze and completely destroy entire kelp ecosystems. Now the problem with this is that kelp is essentially the nursery for our marine ecosystem. So that means that without kelp you don't have fish. Without kelp you don't have crustaceans or invertebrates. You essentially lose your entire marine resource. The problem with urchins that have occupied entire kelp forests and grazed it down to nothing is that they starve and they become empty. So there's nothing inside them. Fishers that are catching urchins have no interest in catching them because they have no economic value. So suddenly, an urchin barren can persist for decades or even centuries, preventing any type of primary production from ever happening. What we do is we take the empty sea urchins that are occupying the ocean floor and we rehome them into our land-based ranching systems. We then feed them between 5 to 10 weeks, and we turn these empty, destructive sea urchins into commercially valuable seafood. By creating an economic incentive for the fishers, we can get these urchins out of the water and allow the oceans to heal itself. The kelp spores that are floating in the water column will settle quickly onto the ground and will turn back into a kelp forest within as quickly as 3 months. And it brings the ocean back to life again.
Kvarøy is an island on the north coast of Norway. We're located next to the Arctic Circle. We have the midnight sun and everything. My family started farming salmon in 1976. So we're one of the oldest companies in Norway. Some of the challenges we have in the industry in Norway is all of those old myths on the way we produce the salmon. Kvarøy Arctic is one of the most sustainable farms in the world for Atlantic salmon, and that's because we have been able to adapt, take on new technology.
Aquaai came to us because they wanted to showcase why they're different, why their farm is sustainably grown and produce some of the best fish that there is.
To start learning all the possibilities that are there with food trust was amazing. The salmon industry has a lot of data, but we don't use it. We have camera systems, we have loggers, we have sensors. What we were struggling was connecting all the dots in between. That's the amazing thing with the blockchain and IBM Food Trust. Fishing industry is unfortunately an industry with a lot of cheating going on, a lot of mislabeling. So they came up with ideas on how to use sensor data to connect them, to make sure that it's not like we can go into the system, just push in the numbers. It's all data gathered straight from the system, and that gives the trust to the customers.
For us, food trust is a movement. It's really about helping people, our consumers, understand the food that we eat and have a connection back to where our food comes from.
It's about to change the way we do business, yeah, absolutely. It's going to change not only the customer relation we have, but also the way we gather data from the farm and use that data to improve everything we're doing all the time. This will be a very important part of the way we do business going forward.
We were asked by ship owners to save the problem of biofouling. And biofouling increases the drag on any vessel. That means that this vessel will have increased fuel consumption, which again means that this vessel will have increased CO2 emissions. And thirdly, a foul vessel also transports hitchhiker, that is alien invasive species, from one part of the world to the other.
The thing that makes our solution unique is that it's been built on the principle that we should collect everything and we should be as smooth as possible against the coating.
So we capture all of the debris, not partial or a little bit of it, but we capture all of the debris. And all this waste is then taken for further treatment before it's sent to biogas production.
It's the cleaning method itself which is the most important thing, that you actually clean in a very soft method, but also collect everything that you clean.
So the technology that we've developed have now proven record to be a whole new way of cleaning surfaces underwater and does not even make micro scratches onto the coating when finished. It leaves the coating in better performance than before the cleaning was done.
You want to choose our solution so that you could have a biofouling control of your entire fleet from day one. You need a solution not just today, but also in 10 years, 20 years.
Since we started in 2008, we've built up our capacities in Gothenburg, and now we have our Center of Excellence in Southampton. But the technology and the team is ready to take the technology further out to the world. We now invite all industry stakeholders on a discussion on how we can cut costs and at the same time decrease our environmental footprint.